I'm going to show you how to make my Brave New World flute masks. So what you're going to need is 2 medical masks, some fabric adhesive. I have tried to use several different brands, but this one's the only one that's actually worked for me. It's Aleene's Original, and I got it at Walmart. And you're gonna need some scissors. So, first step, take your 2 medical masks, get the nose piece, and put it at the top on both masks, and put one mask right behind the other, and grab the nose piece. All right, so the ear loops, I'm going to need to cut them away on the bottom, and by the bottom I mean the part that's on the opposite side of the little nose gripper things. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to snip the ear loops off of both sides at the bottom of this mask. So I'm going to get that here with my pretty dull scissors here. Oops. Okay, now that I've snipped my ear loops off the bottom, I'm going to cut the corners off the bottom of the mask as well. Once again, nose pieces up here, cutting off the corners at the bottom. And I'm going to do them at about a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to cut them starting at that first fold in the mask. So make sure that your masks are lined up with one another, pretty flat against one another, so that when you cut those, they cut together. All right, snipping this side off. It's actually probably steeper than a 45-degree angle there. I've already misaligned mine. Won't make much of a difference in the end. And snipping off the other side. All right, this is what you should have ended up with. It's okay if your blue side is facing out, it doesn't really matter which side is out. Okay, so I have the ear loops hanging off the top. I have cut 2 corners off the bottom. I have my 2 masks lined up. And the next thing I'm going to do is take my fabric glue and run it along just the inside, along the inside of this, and then press those 2 pieces together. All right, so let me get my glue going here. And you're gonna have to let this dry for a little while before you let anybody play in these masks, otherwise you're just gonna be inhaling a whole bunch of glue fumes. Trust me, we made these in band one day at Northside, and everybody started putting them on immediately, and I had to stop them. I was like, no sniffing glue in class. And that's flute players for you. Okay, so it didn't really matter which side it was on as long as I was putting that glue along the bottom. All right, I'm gonna line that up and just press those 2 pieces together, those 2 masks together at the bottom, so that that fabric adhesive, that fabric glue, can start to make those 2 masks adhere to one another. And this will be pretty strong. I have a couple of masks that I've been using for a while that are just not coming apart. And it says on this fabric glue that this is washable. So I imagine you could do this similarly with a cloth mask that was shaped exactly the same way. Okay, so that's gonna take a little while to dry. In the meantime, I'm gonna take my top loops and I'm going to tie them together to make new ear loops. And you may need to adjust them after you've tied them because you might find that they're too tight. All right, here we have it. Let me pick up my dry one to show you how we end up using it. That one's gonna take a little while to dry. All right, you're gonna look like a duck when you put this on. You might also look kind of like you have a diaper on your face, but safety first. So I'm going to put my ear loops on. And what you're gonna notice here, I'm gonna pinch the little bridge of the nose thing. So it goes all the way up here to the top of my nose, and it also comes all the way under my chin, because the most recent studies on the airflow of flute are showing that most of the aerosols, most of the air is coming sort of out and down, which they probably could have asked any of us flute players and we would have told them that to begin with, but so we really have a lot of the airway blocked here. It is sort of open on the sides, not as much as it would have been if we hadn't cut those corners out, but that allows for the flute to come in. All right, so it works for me best if I insert the flute kind of all the way through so the crown is sticking out the other side. I made this one too recently and my glue is coming off, but it won't if you actually let it dry properly, which I didn't on this one. All right, here we go. So you can kind of hear that it works pretty well without muffling the sound too awful much, and it goes on and off pretty easily. It's pretty comfortable to wear for a long period of time. The only adjustments you might need to make, like I said, is you might need to change how far out you've tied an ear loop depending upon the size of your face or your student's face. And also, if a student has a smaller face than me, a 6 foot tall woman, sometimes I see them kind of fold the bottom of their mask in so that it's not so far back and it's not coming up and hitting them in the eyes or anything like that. But pretty easy to make, and feel free to message me if you have any questions or come across any problems while you're trying to make this. Hope it helps some people.